Hello everyone. So this is a very spontaneous vlog style video that I'm attempting for my PQE to kind of vlog it slash keep track of how I'm feeling during it. I literally, like, this is so informal. I have nothing but like a little bit of notes here that I just took on what I need to cover for each time I record a video. But I am just gonna get right into it because I just want to discuss how I'm feeling right now in preparation for my PQE. As of right now, it is January 26th, so it is exactly 1 month before my PQE, and I'm about to report how I am feeling. So, what stage is my project slash presentation slash written portion at right now? So let me start first with the project. My project has not gotten very far just because there's a lot of training and practicing and things that I need to do. So project wise, not very much movement, but we do have a couple of things in the pipeline and a couple of experiments that I think I'll run over the next month or so. So definitely have some things in the works. My presentation has not been updated since my lab meeting on December 15th. I think that was the date. So that's almost a month ago, almost over a month ago. But that'll come with time. I'm not too worried about that. And the written portion. So for our PQE, like, our written portion and our presentation should reflect each other. So the way I'm approaching it is first like focusing on the written portion, and then the presentation will get revised. But my written portion is also not yet complete. At this stage, so we have a 3-aim thesis that we defend for our PQE, and I am basically done with aims 1 and 2. Most of my preliminary is done, but my aim 3 that they have us work on this semester is kind of like a third of the way done. I would say that I'm really excited because literally just yesterday, me and my PI had such an amazing conversation about another tissue that's very similar to my tissue. So I'm gonna have to do some reading, lots of reading over the next few days slash weeks so that I can be knowledgeable about that and see how it applies to my tissue. So that's coming along, and I believe within the next week, the written portion should be like getting to the point where I'm just trying to get it revised. It's really just feeling like it's not done yet, it's discombobulated, but the truth is, like, it's mostly done. I just need to like work on putting in those edits, put in the experiments that I already know what they are, edit the things that need to be edited, and edit the figures. I think it's really not that much work that's left. So I'm feeling pretty good about a month out. Is there anything that I'm concerned about at this moment right now? I would say the only thing I'm really concerned about is the potential breadth of the reading that I'll have to do. So as I mentioned, like, me and my PI made this connection yesterday, and basically there's a lot of like eye research that I'm gonna have to refer to and see, like, is this intertwined? Like, is this tissue the same? So I'm a little bit worried about making sure I kind of get everything so that I can make the most cohesive story. But at the same time, if I find the right papers, it should be fine. And last question is actually, how do I feel? And I'm gonna be recording another video tomorrow that'll maybe get released before this one, we'll see. But I am feeling very excited. I'm feeling pretty good because, in my honest opinion, it's probably something I'll also mention that in the other video, the PQE for me is an opportunity to figure out what do I need so I can get out of here faster. So I'm honestly looking forward to my PQE just so that I can know what I need to do, know what I need to work on, what do I need to get revised, what do I need to think harder about, whatever, so that I can really like wrap that up and make this cohesive story so I can finish this PhD. And I know that sounds like funny to say since I'm like literally talking about the month before my PQE. We're just gonna see how this goes when it comes to the vlogs, and see how many I record and see what we can compile at the end of this. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, today is February 12th. It is exactly 2 weeks before my PQE, and I'm doing my second update for this little vlog series. So first and foremost, for clarity, my written portion is actually due a week from today, or the 19th, and then my final oral examination will be on the 26th of February, which is 2 weeks from today. And really quickly, I'm gonna go through my questions that I had written down that I review for each of the videos. So what stage is my project, my presentation, and my written portion? So first I'm gonna start with I'm gonna start with the written portion. So this weekend I sent my last like big chunk revisions of just like, these things are just not great, not good. I don't know how well this is being communicated, and I got a lot of those things cleaned up. I honestly wish I would have recorded a video right before that, because going into this weekend I was like, okay. But by Sunday I was able to get a really good draft out to our editor in our lab, and she already got me some feedback back, and there's not too much to change. So I'm feeling so good about the written portion, which is due once again a week from today. And then my presentation. So my presentation right now, so last Thursday I actually had a practice session with my lab, and I was not prepared at all for this session, which really sucks. I had gone to a wedding out of town the weekend prior, so I lost a lot of time, but I don't regret that. And I still have been getting so much great feedback from my lab mates, which is what's most important. I really went into that practice session and I told everyone like, hey, this is my expectation, this is what I need help with, please help me make this presentation better. And by the time I was done with that meeting, like I felt very confident in what things I need to change, and I started making those changes today, and a lot of those things have already been implemented, and it's looking so much better, so much stronger, and I'm really excited to be presenting it. I'm actually going to be presenting it tomorrow for the developmental and regenerative biology department, so we shall see how that goes. I will be recording another vlog and reflecting a little bit on that. But yeah, at the moment the project, the presentation, and the written portion are coming together really well, and really the presentation practice that I did last week was also such great clarification on the experiments for the project and what do I actually want to do and what's actually feasible. And once again, I am so grateful for my amazing lab mates for helping me out with that. Is there anything I'm concerned about at this current moment? I would say that when it comes to the presentation, there are a lot of details and animations and things like that that I will need to put in. Now, I don't believe that I will be able to implement a lot of those things by the presentation tomorrow, but that is okay because I just want the general information to be on there, and if the animations aren't correct, that's not that big of a deal. I still have 2 weeks to get the presentation part together. I feel like that's one of my biggest concerns, just because trying to align the animation things, like I used to do presentations for fun when I was really little, and I used to play with the animation things, but now it's just so much more on PowerPoint and it's much more complicated and it's harder to like group things together, I noticed. So that'll get done when it gets done. And I will say, I'll add one more thing to this actually, and it's already getting fixed right now with the presentation edits, but one of the biggest points of feedback that I received during my practice last week was to have assertion evidence slides. So what does that mean? That means that you make an assertion at the top of the slide, the sky is blue, and then you put evidence in the slide. A picture of the sky being blue. And that is it. I had such text heavy slides. I've never liked text heavy slides, but I think I like came into grad school was like, I'm really worried about people like understanding and getting every part of information, and if they don't hear everything I say, and like just being really worried about like what text is available. But a lot of that text has already been eliminated since I did a chunk of those revisions today, and I'll do the last chunk tomorrow. But really those are my only concerns, I would say, at the moment. And overall, how do I feel? So I'm gonna be so honest with you. Going into this weekend, I was very stressed. I was worried about like having enough time. On Friday, I ended up having like an experiment, so I didn't get a lot of time. Well, I didn't get any time to edit either the proposal or the presentation, so I didn't get to start work again until Saturday. And I was a little bit worried about, like, is this enough time? Am I running out of time? Truly and honestly, the project is in such a great place that I'm more excited to give the presentation tomorrow, even though like going into tonight, I know that it's not completed right now, and I know I'm gonna have to edit it, and I know it's not gonna be perfect tomorrow, but I do know that whatever feedback I get is going to be so helpful because I want to make sure people are able to understand as much as possible for my project, especially as my project is extremely visual. So overall, I would say I'm feeling very excited and confident for my exam in general, for the presentation I have tomorrow, for another practice presentation I'll do next week with my lab. And honestly, I'm gonna keep this high energy up for the next 2 weeks. And then after that, we'll really be able to celebrate because I will be done with the PQE. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. Once again, I'm about 2 weeks from my PQE, or my preliminary qualifying exam, and I will catch you on the next segment of this vlog. Hello again, everyone. It is currently February 19th. It is 1 week until my oral preliminary qualifying exam, or PQE, and today was actually the due date for my written exam for my PQE. And that was a great time. So today is also a holiday, it's President's Day, so it's kind of weird that like my assignment's also due today, so whatever, it's fine. I submitted it today. So at this stage, my project is mostly done. I have just submitted the written version today, and the only thing that I really need to work on for the next week is my presentation, practicing the oral presentation, and making sure I solidify what I have on my slides. My written portion came together quite well, honestly. I felt like I was in a really good spot at the end of last week, and I got some final edits back from some lab mates, so I was really focused on those during this weekend, and I finally have that done and submitted. So I'm very proud of myself for following through, working so hard today, and getting my PQE written exam at least completed. Is there anything that I'm concerned about at this moment? So I would say yes, because one of the comments that I received from my last draft was that one of the experiments that I'm doing should probably be changed. And after reflecting on it, I think that there's another experiment that should be changed to that instead. However, I did not find it worthwhile to put all those edits into this version right now, especially with the amount of time that I had left. And honestly, I had only thought about it for about 24 hours. And literally I went to bed last night and was like, oh, I'm gonna make this change, I'm done, I'm not gonna talk about this thing anymore. And by the time I got to it today, I was like, no, I have to leave this in here. I think something else changing might be better, but I think that's better for my oral exam, and we can talk about why those changes occurred during the exam. So I do have that as a slight concern, but at the same time, I know a lot of people change the content that is within their PQE within that week, so it's not uncommon, and it's perfectly fine that like there might be discrepancies between my written exam submitted today and my oral exam that I'll be giving next week. So how do I feel about my PQE? I feel pretty good, I would say. I feel like I sometimes find myself getting really overwhelmed with feedback, in a sense of either taking all of it like really like seriously in the writing, even if it's something that I don't want. So like that last example I was giving is a really good example, but like I need to recognize what feedback is really good feedback, what feedback is not the best feedback, and that can be hard whenever you also aren't sure how you're navigating or explaining an experiment. So I feel like, honestly, I feel very confident. I feel confident that I have enough time to practice and get this presentation together. I don't want to say that I'm nervous or anything like that, because that's like manifesting nervousness, and that's not what I want. But I really honestly feel excited to get more feedback from my committee, to talk to my committee about this, to have this conversation about my science, and honestly just get the ball rolling. That's how I feel right now. And honestly, that's all I had for today's video. Again, I should be recording a few more vlogs before my PQE on the 26th. I can't even, I'm tired. But thank you for watching, and tune in for our next check-in. Hello everyone, Monet the creator once again, and it is the day before my PQE. It is February 25th. My PQE is tomorrow, February 26th at 2 p.m. So, yep, almost to the finish line. I'm definitely like so ready to be done at this point. I feel like I'm just like, all right, just ready to have it done with. But gonna go through the questions as always and check in tomorrow afterwards to see how we did. So first, what stage is my project at right now? So my presentation is basically done. I really need to go back and look at a lot of the animations. I need to look at some of the sources, just make sure like little things are fixed. But I think for the most part, I feel pretty stable, or I feel pretty good about a lot of the things that I put in the presentation. I'm definitely very tired though. But yes, tomorrow I will be done with all of this and I'm so excited for that. Is there anything I'm concerned about at the moment? I don't think so. I feel like I've really covered all my bases. I've gotten so many good questions from the practices I've done, and I'm so glad that people were so helpful. I have done 3 formal practices and then 1 informal practice where I really just like walked through the presentation and tried to get some help. That is a good amount of practice. I feel like I've gotten a lot of feedback and I've been looking at a lot of that feedback, and I'm pretty sure I've gotten through all of it, so not really feeling too concerned about anything. Of course there might be a left field question that I can't expect, but I feel really good about the background, a lot of the basic biology, developmental biology, all that good stuff that I have to know, neurobiology, of course. And honestly, that was all of the questions. So I'm gonna head to bed. Well, I have to do my hair first and get myself together because I have an awesome outfit tomorrow that I can't wait to show y'all. But this has been Monet the Creator, and tomorrow is my PQE and I will be done and I will be a PhD candidate. I'll see y'all soon. Hello, Monet the Creator again, and just another quick check-in. I have passed my PQE, not even a conditional pass, fully passed my PQE. It was such a good experience, honestly. I feel like I was so prepared for my exam. The people in my lab and the people that I practiced with, they asked such good questions that I just felt so prepared. And honestly, I feel like none of the questions I got during the exam were even as hard as the ones that people asked me during my prep and practices. So I'm just so happy that it's finally done. I even woke up this morning, I was feeling so good. I was feeling so good. I look good. I'ma do good, and that's exactly what happened. What stage is my presentation, my project at this moment? So it's not done, of course. Like, I still have revisions, I still have things that I can improve, but I got some awesome direction from my PQE committee, and I'm very grateful for that, especially because I had a geneticist on my committee and there were some things I was just unsure about. But literally one of the recommendations she gave me for a potential experiment was related to a publication or like a paper that had just gotten put on bioarchives this morning. So it was like, this is so perfect. I just knew everything was meant to go so well today. Is there anything I'm concerned about at this point? I would honestly say no. I think that when it comes to my third aim, things were just not as fleshed out as aims 1 and 2. At the same time, like aim 1 and 2, I was really focused on during the entirety of last semester, and aim 3 I've only been working on for 2 months, and this is what I had for it. And I honestly just feel good with what I was able to present to them and the questions I was able to answer. And the committee even told me, they were like, yeah, like this was a very good presentation. You definitely like had great answers to all of our questions, and like you are a candidate. You are definitely a candidate. Congratulations. And I feel so good. Yeah, that was actually the last question. I feel so good on my mama, on my hood. I look fly and I look good. This is the end of my PQE vlog series. I'm gonna record another video in the future where I'll talk about my actual PQ experience, what I did, didn't like, things that I did, whatever I find necessary to put in that video. That'll be in another video, but for right now, this has been Monet the Creator. I'm so glad that you're able to tune in for this little vlog series, and I hope that if you are also working on your PQE, you're gonna do great. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.